The death of Jesus, a battle between life and death. The night enveloped everything, and the silence was eerie. The world around seemed to have stopped moving, as if time itself had come to a standstill. At the top of the hill, Jesus stood alone in the Garden of Gethsemane, gazing up at the cloudy sky. The faint light of the moon shone down, but the darkness of anxiety still surrounded him. He knew that the greatest battle of his life was about to begin. He knelt down, lifting his hands to pray to the Father, his heart full of pain and his spirit heavy. "Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me, but not as I will, but as you will." Jesus knew the path ahead would be filled with agony and trials, but he could not turn back. He knew he would have to sacrifice himself to bring life to mankind. At that very moment, footsteps echoed in the dark night. A group of Roman soldiers, with stern faces and weapons in hand, entered the garden. They moved closer, and Judas, one of his disciples, stepped forward, kissing him as a signal to identify him. Jesus looked at Judas, but without anger, only a sad look, understanding that this was the betrayal he had to endure. Judas whispered, "Greetings, teacher, will you not resist?" Jesus did not speak a word, but gently replied, "Do what you must do, but this is not the plan of my Father." The soldiers began to bind him and drag him away, but Jesus' gaze remained calm and unwavering. The people around him mocked and ridiculed him, but he did not respond. He only looked at them with compassionate eyes. He knew that his death was not the end, but the beginning of a great miracle. Jesus was led through dusty roads, beaten and scourged, but he did not cry out in pain. He endured it all for one reason, the boundless love he had for humanity. The nails pierced through his hands and feet, his body twisted in agony. Yet in his eyes there was no anger or hatred, only unconditional love, a love that could not be extinguished. When he was nailed to the cross, the people around him continued to mock him. But Jesus uttered only one word, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." His death was a supreme sacrifice, a battle between life and death. But in that moment, death was not the end. It was a battle that had been won, not by weapons or power, but by limitless love. 3 days later, a miraculous event occurred. The earth shook, the tomb opened, and Jesus rose from the dead. Life triumphed over death. His death was not the end, but the beginning of new hope, of eternal life. The sacrifice of Jesus brought light and faith to all mankind. After his resurrection, Jesus met his disciples. He looked into each of their eyes, his gaze filled with love and forgiveness. "Do not be afraid, for I have overcome the world. You will have life, and that life will be eternal." Jesus sacrificed himself to bring life to all of us. His death was a great battle, a battle between life and death, and in that victory, eternal life triumphed. No matter what you face in life, remember that his love and sacrifice will always light your path. If you feel the message, don't forget to like and follow our channel. We can change the world, one heart, one act of love at a time.